This is a quick review on the Sage 2 and the Spyderco Stretch 2. I got these two knives as a pass-around at bladeforums.com and got to use them for a week. Pretty cool. I'm really impressed with both of them, and they really kind of deserve their own individual review. I don't really consider them, I don't really want to make it like a Sage versus Stretch type of review, because they're kind of different knives altogether. They're built very differently, and I don't know, I just think they kind of categorize under different different knives generally. But just because I did get them together, I decided to kind of compare the two and just go over what I thought of each of them. Firstly, these are both excellent knives. Starting with the Stretch, the thing that when I saw the Stretch, I was really impressed with it, reading about it, but I kind of was hesitant to buy one or consider buying one, just because I did already own a Delica and I've owned an Endura before, and I thought, hey, you know, it's cool, but I think it's around $90, and it's, you know, considerably more expensive than a Delica or an Endura. So I figured, you know, how is it really different from a Delica or an Endura? You know, because I didn't really want to buy a knife that's going to be too similar to one that I already owned before. It's got the same volcano grip, FRN handles. The blade, from pictures, it looks like it's going to be about the same, but that's actually not the case. I thought that the size was comparable too, and I thought that the just overall build and feel was going to be like a Delica or an Endura, but I'm actually wrong. It's actually a very unique knife compared to say your other FRN handled Spydercos. For one thing, compared to a Delica, this is a wave version, but the regular one is about the same size. You can see right away the Stretch is much bigger than the Delica from the handles, and the blades are obviously very different too. I think on the regular Delica, this is like a full, it's not a leaf shape like this, it's more straight on the top, and I think it's a full flat ground. I could be wrong, it might be ground the same way. But this on the Stretch, it is a full flat ground blade, which is my favorite grind, and it performs very well. And it's a much bigger, you know, you get a good, probably another, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch of blade on the Stretch, and it's also a much wider blade, as you can see. And same with the handles. The handles are longer on the Stretch, and they're a little bit wider. So what that kind of translates to in hand is that I feel it's a much more secure grip. It also has a coil here that has pretty good serrations, pretty good jimping on the back, and and on the finger choil here, so you can grip it up close like this for more intricate work, or you can grip it down here. It's got this nice smoothed out area on the FRN. Grip it like that if you want a little bit more reach. I feel that the bigger handle is more comfortable if you're going to be using this long term for more heavy duty tasks. I would say that the Stretch is more suited for that, just because it has a bigger blade, a bigger handle, and this blade profile is actually very versatile. I like it a lot. It comes to a point up here. It's a very good tip. So if you want to do intricate work, I found it very useful. And the blade is actually nice and thin. I guess it's about the same as a Delica, but tapers down a little bit more toward the front. So it performed very well when I was cutting like vegetables or opening packages. I found it was very useful. So overall, I'm very pleased with it. I'd say it's actually definitely in a league of its own compared to the Endura or the Delica. And overall, just I was really impressed with this knife. Now on to the Sage 2. This knife, as soon as I got it out of the box, I was really impressed with it. You know, it just had this really solid feel to it, a really high quality finish and feel to it. Again, looking at it from pictures, it just doesn't do it justice. You really have to handle one to really appreciate it. It does have a titanium frame lock, which is really nice. It's got this smooth pocket clip that Spyderco uses on some of their knives. This clip is actually very useful, this wire clip they use. I found that you can kind of get this, clip it onto your pants pockets and take it out with one hand. It's a lot easier than, you know, this style of clip. This is this holds a little bit more securely, but sometimes you need two hands to put it on your pocket. Whereas a wire clip, it's secure enough to hold in your pants, but I found that just with one hand I can put it in and out of my pocket a little bit easier, just because this is a little smoother. And it rides, because of its design, it allows it to ride very deep in the pocket. Only about that much shows, which is nice. Overall, just awesome. As soon as you open it, you know, it just feels amazing. And I was surprised that this is actually made in Taiwan. You know, it feels like a much higher quality piece than what you would expect from Taiwan, but I mean, it just came out awesome. So I was really impressed. Really lightweight. You know, it's not heavy at all. And again, you know, sometimes I don't know why I do this, but I'll just look at a blade and I'll say, oh, you know, that's kind of nice, but it is I think this thing goes for like $150, maybe more, maybe less. It's kind of expensive for a knife, you know. And I'll say, if I'm going to spend that much, I want it to be really different from what I already have. Not to say that the Sage is anything close to anything like the Tenacious, but just from looking at it, I'm like, oh, you know, the handles are kind of the same, and the blade is kind of similar, you know. But no, they're really not the same at all. You know, they're super different. You know, this is I mean, aside from the obvious, you know, the G10 handles and the slightly different blade profiles, you really do have to handle a knife of this caliber to appreciate it. You have to have it in hand, and that's why these passarounds are really nice, because I may not have ever come to appreciate that, because I may not have spent the $150 to handle it, and I would have just assumed, oh well, you know, it's got better materials and a frame lock, so it's more expensive. But you know, overall, it might just be the same as some of the other knives I own. That's really couldn't be further from the truth. It just overall has a great feel to it. Similar to the Stretch, it has a coil in the front, although this one runs a little bit deeper, and it has good jimping. So you can grip up close like this for intricate work, which I found was very useful. Or you could grip again down here if you need a little bit more reach. Both the Sage and the Stretch have very unique looks to them. You know, as do all Spydercos. Some people just really can't get along with the looks of the blade, which I kind of understand that they're unique. But the one thing about Spydercos is that they're really designed with some type of function in mind. They don't just design simply to look unique, right? They always make them to function. It's usually a performance measure that's put into their design. That's why it looks the way it does, and usually a lot of that is in ergonomics, and you can really tell that with both of these knives. The Sage even though this is titanium and it's slick, you get such a great grip on this knife that's really not a concern at all. It feels extremely sturdy in hand. And the same thing with the Stretch, you know. It looks kind of, you know, it looks different from your conventional knife, but these curves just fit right into your hand extremely well. So when you're gripping it, it's very comfortable. You know, any way that you hold it, it's very, very comfortable. So overall, I really liked experiencing these knives. I want to thank Blade Forums and the people who put this together, because you know, you get to experience things that you might not otherwise be able to. So hope you enjoyed the review, and if you have any other questions, please contact me and I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching.